अस्सलाम वालेकुम गाइस, मैं हूं हना गिलानी और आप देख रहे हैं पाक अफेयर्स। आज की हमारी वीडियो का टॉपिक है कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन रशिया एंड यूक्रेन. And I'm going to try to keep this video as simple as possible because obviously this is a very significant moment in our history that's going to be a part of our history. And it's like the first time that the whole Europe is feeling very unsafe and a European country is under attack. So this topic is going to be in a lot of important syllabus, like it could appear in the CSS exams, it could appear in schools and colleges. So I'm making this video for those students who actually want to have knowledge about what is going on. So let's start. Why has Russia attacked? Russia ने attack क्यों किया? On the 24th of Feb, the president of Russia declared that it did not feel safe and could not develop and exist. And he said that there were constant threats from modern Ukraine. और इस statement के बाद फौरन ही airports, military headquarters यूक्रेन में troops started going there. उसके बाद फिर जो airports थे उनके ऊपर bombing शुरू हो गई. और लेकिन अभी तक जो Russian leaders हैं और जो Russian president है वो war term या invasion term use नहीं कर रहे. They are saying कि वो actually protect कर रहे हैं their own people and the people of Ukraine from bullying so far and genocide and hate crimes that's been happening in Ukraine. But ऐसा नहीं है. Ukraine की democracy is very vibrant, it's very free, the people are very hostile, and Putin actually wants to he uses the word denazification for Ukraine, even though the president of Ukraine is a Jewish. So he does claim कि how can I be a Nazi? But on the other hand, the whole justification of Putin's attack is barely कि हम लोग अपने आप को protect कर रहे हैं, and that Ukraine is threatening its own people. वो Ukraine is under control of extremist group जो कि pro-Russian नहीं है और उसकी वजह से he feels threatened और अपनी territory और अपने लोगों को बचाने के लिए he says that this is the reason why I am attacking Ukraine. So how much of Ukraine does Russia actually control? रशिया ने कितनी हद तक अपना कंट्रोल यूक्रेन के ऊपर हासिल कर लिया है? In 2014 जो यूक्रेन का प्रो रशियन प्रेसिडेंट था विक्टर, he was thrown out of the government क्योंकि उनके अपने लोग, he was against them, they didn't like his ruling, so they kicked him off the government. इसके बाद प्यूटिन was invoked और उसने क्राइमिया के ऊपर अपना कंट्रोल हासिल करना शुरू किया. इससे एक रिबेलियस ग्रुप ईस्ट में ट्रिगर हो गया. सो आफ्टर क्राइमिया इन 2021 उसने अपने ट्रूप्स ऑल अलोंग यूक्रेनियन बॉर्डर्स अपने एलोकेट करना शुरू कर दिए. इसके बाद जो अभी लेटेस्ट जो न्यूज़ वो ये है कि जो यूक्रेन की दो सिटीज़ रशिया के जो रिबेलियस ग्रुप था उसके कंट्रोल में थी, डोनेट्स्क एंड लुहानस्क. उसने प्यूटिन ने उनको रिकग्नाइज किया एज इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट्स, विच मीन्स कि वो उसको यूक्रेन का पार्ट नहीं समझ रहा. ही रिकग्नाइज दम एज बीइंग इंडिपेंडेंट. सो ही टुक ओवर क्राइमिया लॉन्ग अगो एंड देन ही इंडिपेंडेंटली रिकग्नाइज्ड लुहानस्क एंड डोनेट्स्क. इसके अलावा रशिया हैज़ रेजिस्टेड फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम टू स्टॉप यूक्रेन फ्रॉम बीइंग अ मेंबर ऑफ द EU and NATO. Announcing its invasion, Russia said to NATO that by accepting Ukraine as their member, they're actually threatening their future as a nation. How far will Russia go? Russia किस हद तक जाएगा? रशिया ने ऑलरेडी यूक्रेन की मेजर सिटीज़ को बॉम्ब कर दिया है और सीज कर लिया है. एंड इट इज़ नोन कि it is assumed actually that Russia wants to overthrow the democratically selected government of Ukraine. The president of Ukraine says that I've been receiving threats and they tell me that I am the target number 1 and my family is target number 2. And Russia, तो इस चीज़ में he's kind of just committed to, he says that he's going to bring to court all those people who committed crimes against the citizens. So अभी तक Russian president की ये statement है that I am cleaning Ukraine of Nazis and criminals and genocides who are threatening my people and the people of Ukraine. So this is what he's standing on, that he's doing this only out of protection for its people. How dangerous is this invasion for Europe? यूरोप के लिए ये इन्वेजन कितनी ख़तरनाक हो सकती है? Ukrainians के लिए तो ये time is one of the darkest hours. Obviously, their cities are being bombed down, their people are losing their homes, their children dying, people are just like being displaced. The report says that probably over 7 million people can be displaced in this whole conflict. Other countries, neighboring countries are seeing a huge influx. There are so many people fleeing from Ukraine to some other countries, and this is such a sad and hard time for Europe, especially because this is the first time कि European country के साथ कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है, and they were not prepared for this at all. And Russia's leader have also put their troops on high alert, and it's said to the West he said to the West that they will face consequences that they have never seen before if they stand in his way. The Ukrainian president believes कि इस सब के बाद एक iron curtain आ जाएगा between Russia and the rest of the world. जबकि एक German scholar thinks कि this is the moment where Putin is actually playing its cards to build the Russian empire all over the globe. I don't know about building the Russian empire, but I think Russia has not accepted that Ukraine is a separate country now. It still thinks that they're a part of it and they are not ready to let go. और इस चीज़ के पीछे उन्होंने पहले अपना एक their own guy was their president, and after Victor was removed, this is exactly जहाँ से conflict जो है वो roots उसके start हुए थे in Russian people. और उसके बाद जब क्राइमिया की overtake हुआ, वो rebellious group एक यूक्रेन में start हो गया था. So this whole thing started around in 2014. और 2021 में when he was lining his troops against the Ukrainian borders, a lot of the world leaders were saying that Putin is going to attack, but उसको deny करता रहा कि no, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that. But then he broke the 2015 treaty जो कि यूरोप के साथ उसने साइन की हुई थी, वो भी उसने ब्रेक करके he just called war right away to take back the country, जिसको वो supposedly ये कह रहा है कि extremists चला रहे हैं जो pro Russians नहीं हैं. So basically he just wants to split the country or take control over it. And long story short, he's gonna do whatever it takes to do that, and the whole of Europe and the whole world is gonna be able to just see the consequences and whatnot. But what can the West do to stop Russia? And उनके पास क्या power है कि वो इसके रास्ते में खड़े हो सकें या इसको कोई ना कोई इसके लिए hindrance create कर सके just to make him stop. In arbitration या just talks के लिए तो I don't think Russia is ready yet, or I don't think this is the moment जहाँ पे बातों से कोई ना कोई हल निकल आएगा. So we still have to wait and watch. लेकिन West ने अपनी तरफ से काफ़ी कोशिश किया to stop Russia. Like for example, I'm just gonna read it through my screen because it's a lot of content and I cannot memorize that on myself. Okay, so the EU, US, UK, Japan, and Canada, they have cut off the Russian banks from international SWIFT payment networks, जिसके ज़रिए rapid transfers होते हैं across the borders. वो बंद हो चुका है. Okay, and Germany has backed off from the Stream 2 gas pipeline, which was a major investment by Russia. Russia's state-run media, Sputnik and Russia Today, seen as Kremlin mouthpiece, are being banned across the EU. Now, what is Kremlin? Kremlin is basically a branch of the Russian government who looks after the foreign affairs. And Russia has been banned from FIFA, and a lot of their athletes cannot participate in any games that are coming up. So these are some of the sanctions that have been imposed on Russia by the West. This is what they can do. So basically, what does Putin want in all of this, right? Since the disintegration of Russia in 1991, Putin does not see Ukraine as a separate state. काफ़ी दफ़ा address करते हुए he says we are one nation, लेकिन अभी Ukraine एक puppet बन गया है, and that puppet is controlled by the West, और जो कि Russia को unacceptable है because Ukraine obviously he assumes that उसके power में होनी चाहिए, so he cannot really take the thought that is controlled by the West. और इसके अलावा जो NATO का वो है, NATO का इनकी treaty sign हुई थी. Russia says कि हमारी ये treaty sign हुई थी कि NATO अभी extend नहीं करेगा और members नहीं लेके आएगा ईस्ट की तरफ, लेकिन उसके बाद वजूद उन्होंने यूक्रेन की जो request थी to become a member, उन्होंने उसको accept किया और उसको उन्होंने थोड़ा सा उसके ऊपर कुछ go through किया. So this kind of invoked the president कि NATO ने अपना वो तोड़ा है, and also that Ukraine is being controlled by the West and by the extremist group where he should be a part of Russia. So he says that ever since Russia broke into a lot of pieces, he's actually just trying to put the pieces back together one by one, and he's gonna go to all extremes to fulfill his goal. Our just best wishes are for the people of Ukraine and anyone who is just being affected by this war. Obviously, violence is never the answer, but this is politics, guys, and I really hope that you guys did understand and get some knowledge about the whole conflict through this video. Comment below, and thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more videos. Thank you. Bye.